So guys, look where I am. Yeah, so mega excited for the interview. Really happy to be here, to be fair. I'm just really excited. Can't wait to go up and meet Lauran and Craig, and yeah, let's learn more about Two Hospital. Let's do this. Action!
Oh, hello. I didn't see you there.
Hi guys, obviously thanks for watching Maz Gaming. So today we've got an awesome interview with the lovely Lauran and Craig from SEGA, which is obviously like, thanks for letting us be here guys, really appreciate it.
Oh dude, thank you so much, it's so good to see you, and thanks for coming all the way to us.
Yeah,
That's
thank
very
you.
kind of you.
Yeah, so obviously just wanted to run through a few things before we kind of get to the game, because obviously I know you guys have been involved in gaming for a long time, so I know like Lauran started out at EA, is that right?
Man and boy.
Man and boy. Yeah, so I just thought it'd be cool, you know, if you could just kind of talk us through like how you guys came to be in gaming, you know, like, and whether or not it was always the goal or you fell into it or
sure.
What happened with that.
You just cast my mind back. It was actually 9 years ago, so not man and boy. I'm not a man nor a boy, nor am I old, so it's fine. No, I just resigned myself. You know, you leave school and you start doing jobs and you think, wow, this is it. Yeah. This is what I'm living my life for.
Literally still doing it.
It's a terrifying thing, but at least you've got your outlet. I had nothing. And then a friend of mine who worked at EA in marketing told me to go for an interview, and I kind of ummed and ahed about it, and then eventually got in there. And the great thing about EA is they tend to, or at the time anyway, in Guildford, they would get you in for an interview for whichever role they had open, and if they liked you but you wouldn't work for that role, they'd just keep putting you forward for something until you eventually found the fit, because it was just as much about personality as anything else. So they just kept cycling me through different interviews until I found a home with the online publishing team. So I was junior product manager playing Battleforge and Littlest Pet Shop and stuff like that. Yeah, it was really weird. And that's the first time I just remember sitting there like, oh my god, this is work. Yeah. Like, how did this happen? And I've done everything I can to stay within the industry ever since. I'm literally clinging on at this point.
Yeah, and then weirdly I had a bit of a sort of foray. I originally studied journalism at university, and then I had a bit of a foray into games journalism sort of on the side. And then I knew someone who worked at Creative Assembly in Horsham, and I played a lot of Company Heroes with him online, which is quite relevant given this is the Company Heroes room.
Currently in the bunker.
Yeah. Yeah, so I got a job in QA with Creative Assembly. I ended up staying there for 8 years, working my way up to lead community manager, building a community team and doing all kinds of cool stuff on the marketing side. And then I kind of just moved into virtual reality for a bit, and then over to SEGA to do brand management. So yeah,
nice. Really
yeah,
cool.
man, and here you are.
And here I am.
Every day.
With this one.
Yeah. You've worked for some big companies, and obviously I'm still working for a massive company. But like, what was it about the 2 Point project that you know they kind of really interested you guys, or you know like was it a conscious choice? You know, like, I totally want to work on that thing.
Oh,
or?
for me, it absolutely was. I mean, we a lot of the people at 2 Point, I'd say, I don't know, maybe 60–70% of the staff there are ex-Lionheads. So obviously Lionhead went down in 2016. And I spent a year and a half, it was halfway through the year I suppose, spent a year and a half in jobs that were perfectly awesome but just weren't quite for me. Yeah. And then I remember in the very first instance when we lost Lionhead, going to visit 2 Point because some of the Lions had already gone there, and Mark Webley saying to me, we need a community manager, can you wait a year and a half? Me being like, I'd love to, but no, I need to make a living, so I went off and did what I needed to do. And then yeah, just heard from Mark and Gary that SEGA wanted to interview me and went for it, and that's where I met Craig, in this very room. This is weird.
This is the room.
You were sat right there. I was sat right here.
It's all about Company Heroes.
Yeah, here we go. Here we go.
And then for me it was very much a case of, I worked at Creative Assembly. It's obviously a very big company now. It was 120 when I started, and it's like 500 now. Wow. Massive company. And then worked in virtual reality, which is very sort of different and very sort of like hardware based, and so I had that kind of growth of working in a game studio that's kind of become bigger and bigger and bigger, and then working in a big sort of hardware company. And the thing that I really missed was working with devs really closely in small teams. Yeah. And when I spoke to my boss on the phone, my current boss on the phone, about the opportunity, I just thought it sounded so cool. But firstly, because it was a small team, and secondly, because it was these guys who I'd heard about, Mark and Gary, and then who'd been like around the games industry for years and years and years, making this really cool stuff that I've been aware of.
Well, this is it, games that we've been playing, because obviously their legacy is Bullfrog.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the amount of games that, even when I started at Lionhead, I remember taking Bullfrog games into Gary, like, could you sign this? And he's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So I know it's really important, but he was never into it.
Syndicate, Theme Park, Hospital.
Just games that my brother and I would play to death. Dungeon Keeper.
Black and White, the movies. I love the movies. I made some horrible movies.
I can imagine. Yeah, I don't need to see
terrible
those.
movies. But yeah, to work with those guys is amazing, and it's like every bit as cool as I thought it was going to be. So working with them and getting to know them and sort of become their friends as well.
And I think, yeah, absolutely. And I think the thing that people maybe don't understand about marketing and community is, you know, we can do our job from anywhere. We don't have to be with a dev team, but being with the dev team makes such a huge difference to understanding how to communicate out, but also to have a direct, you know, someone you can go to immediately and say, someone's asking about this, what do I do? And they can give you that information immediately, but also just, you know, being a part of the studio, which means our voice becomes the voice of the studio, which is how it needs to be done.
For me, it's more like, do you like this screenshot? No, it's horrible, do another one. Do you like this logo? No, it's horrible, do another one.
But you always do another one.
I always do another one, and we get there in the end.
I've got to figure out about you, so you should know.
No, this is it.
Done.
What's it like actually working with Gary and Mike? Like, is it literally as, because you know, I mean, I've grown up with them and kind of known all the dad jokes and kind of all this shit. Is it literally exactly what everyone would expect?
It's non-stop, wall-to-wall dad jokes.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
Like, I'm not even joking. It's constant.
The funniest office in Game Town, pretty much.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Foulest. In a good way.
Some of the things that are said, but it's not. I mean, I think the great thing about it is it's not just. I mean, of course, you've got Mark and Gary, and their relationship is rad, and they've, you know, they get on. They've been getting on forever. But everyone that they handpicked, I think. The story is that maybe they weren't quite ready at the point that Lionheads was closed down. They weren't quite ready to expand their team, but they thought, if we don't get these people now, we're not going to get them. So it was a case of, you know, our animator, Chris Knott, he's worked with Gary. He was at Bullfrog for a while, wasn't he, as well? No, he was at Muckyfoot. He was at Muckyfoot. So there's all of, you know, all of these guys have been working, and Ben Huskins, who is our lead designer, but he was initially, and he'll kick me for saying this, he was initially Molyneux's protege, I mean, essentially. So he knows Mark and Gary and has worked with them for all of that time as well. So it's very much, it's a family.
It's an incredible team. Like you look around the room and you're just like, wow, you've worked on that, and you've worked on that, and there's so many people with like 20 years of experience of game development, and you're like, how are there this many experienced people in this tinier room?
Yeah,
and
it's
like,
crazy.
It's almost like you could bottle this sort of magic energy that they create, and I guess that's what 2.0
That's what we're doing.
Becoming, which is awesome. It's really cool.
And so I mean, because obviously I was really excited because I mean this is a game that I wanted anyway, and then Sega was involved, so it's kind of like double whammy for me. But like, how did that come about? And with Sega getting involved in the publishing side? So
Sega have a department called Searchlight, which is kind of like it's kind of an arm of the business that looks for new partnerships to work with independent game studios to potentially work with them on a long-term basis in the future. So it's about finding this cool new talent, this new development talent. In Mark and Gary's case, you know, and Ben, not so new talent, but new studio. And just finding the kind of opportunities to work within a space that Sega are familiar with. So in our case, strategy, you know, sim, it's kind of a space that Sega are familiar with, but it kind of pushes us into new areas of like comedy gaming, and sort of that light-hearted humour is a bit different for Sega. So Searchlight's really this kind of like cool arm of the business that looks for these funky new projects and gets involved with them, and then brings them into the fold and shares all that knowledge and experience that Sega has in PC gaming. And yeah, so we've got a commercial guy who found this opportunity with Mark and Gary and Ben. Ben had previously worked on Motorsport Manager with Sega, which is also a Searchlight thing. So that was a great opportunity, a door opener. And then when Sega saw that these guys were ready to make essentially a new game in the mould of the Bullfrog and Lionhead games, couldn't really say no, so it was great.
And equally, you know, as much as Searchlight, you know, Craig and I officially work for Searchlight, but we're just embedded with 2 Point. But as much as 2 Point can take from Sega, Sega's learning from 2 Point as well. You know, this is a situation where, in my experience, and if we're going just by the ratio that Twitter tells me or Facebook tells me, this game has got more female fans than I've ever seen. And I worked on Fable, which was absolutely a game that was kind of for everyone. Not that games should not be for everyone. This is difficult ground that I'm covering here. But yeah, the amount of women who are really, really into this game is not something that Sega's ever had before. So we're kind of bringing that information and knowledge and learning how to you know, how to make sure we're marketing for everyone.
Yeah, I mean, like
cool.
Total War Football Manager, probably
Yeah.
98% male,
98%
female.
yeah.
Yeah, very different sort of split. But also it's a partnership. It's like we don't own 2 Point, they own the IP, they own the game, and we just kind of work with them in partnership to publish it and give them the services that they need.
Yeah, the support they need.
Yeah, and it's really sort of give and take, like you said. It's that kind of like back and forth working relationship, which is great. And it's been super smooth so far.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's been, and we're what, 2 weeks? 2 weeks tomorrow out from launch.
Yes.
Amazing.
It's coming for us. That's dated.
And
No
no
one's
one's-
dated this interview.
No one's killed us yet.
No one's
No
killed
one at the
us.
studio has killed us
Nor
yet, which is a
fired
personal
us.
record.
Nor anything else. Yeah.
Like, so did you guys grow up like loving Sega anyway, or did you guys grow up playing Sega games, or?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I used to have a Master System and a Mega Drive.
I had a Mega Drive and a Game Gear.
Nice.
Oh, Game
Nice.
Gear.
Oh, the
very
Game
nice.
Gear was like a game changer,
Yeah.
quite literally.
Awesome.
Like the days that your parents would come and say, "Okay, it's 10 o'clock. You've got to go to bed now." Yeah, sure, I'll go to bed.
Just playing
And then
Cool
you can
Spot, man.
sit under the duvet playing Sonic. Like they don't even know.
Yeah.
They have no idea. Oh my god, game changer.
It was awesome.
Yeah,
Loved it.
Yeah, great bit of kit actually. Yeah,
It really was.
yeah,
As long as you've
especially.
got 16 batteries spare. for
Well,
them.
that's it. Yeah, that was the tricky bit.
Yeah, but you put it up against the Game Boy, you know, that green
yeah.
screen, and you're
Yeah.
like, come on, guys, up your game. We've got a Game Gear here. So.
That's it. That's it.
And did you guys have any favourite games growing up, and like, you know, in terms of Sega?
Yes, I mean, I played Sonic to death. I played it to death, and then
Yeah.
I became a little bit obsessed with Tails. I've always been a little bit obsessed with Tails, but then one year I got red hair, and then all of my friends started calling me Knuckles. So it's literally been a part of my life for as long as
Didn't
I
they
can
call you
remember.
that because you beat
No,
people up?
yeah, it was the punching. But it's not. I don't think it counts because it's technically Konami. But there was. Oh God, I saw it. I stayed at my parents' over the weekend, and I saw the very copy of Zombies Ate My Neighbours, which was just called Zombies in England. Zombies Ate My Neighbours in America.
Wow.
Best game ever. Best game ever, like
Awesome,
without a
yeah.
doubt. But it is Konami.
There's a couple of games I used to play a lot that weren't kind of first-party Sega games. They were kind of different studios making them. One was a game called Psycho Fox, which is
Right.
kind of like a reskin of Decap Attack, where
Right.
you kind of have this bird that you throw at enemies, and you can transform into different animals to get through different bits. It was really weird. It was very Japanese and very cool. And there was another one that I played a lot of, which I just forgot. I was going to say, it's just popped out
If
of
we
my
can
mind.
get him to say
Asterix.
it.
Asterix.
Ah,
Yeah, the
of
Asterix
course.
on Master System was brilliant. A great
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
soundtrack.
Yeah, that was a good.
Obelisk would destroy things with his bum, which is great. You know, that should be.
And
a
Craig's
staple
taken that lesson into the rest of his life. Line
That's
him up,
it.
Laycock.
That
Line
is-
him up.
That is payback for all the golden toilet spraying jokes I've done
Yeah.
to you over the years.
There's a
That's
story there that I
unbelievable.
definitely can't ask. I know that the Sega development family of studios are pretty close, and I've seen that a lot on Twitter, that people kind of go over to different studios and kind of meet and do I think there's like a yearly gamer-thon thing where you all kind of have.
Yeah.
So like, have you guys had a chance to kind of go around to the other studios? And kind
Not
of,
yet.
No.
I want to. I
Yeah.
will.
Basically, those opportunities come along and I take them. And
Yeah.
leave Lauren back.
Well,
in.
we've to be clear. I mean, the thing is, it's believable. That's what's difficult about that. I think right now, because I've only been with the company since January.
Yeah.
And even then, you know, the messages, the emails that I got from yourself and Rowan before starting was, "You're going to be hitting the ground running here,
Yeah, it's
Carter.
been
Like
flat
this is
out."
insane. We're going to be crazy." So for the last 8 months, we've just been mad, just
Yeah.
heading towards
No pressure.
this final goal, which we're nearly there.
Yeah, but it is a big thing for Sega. Like Creative Assembly will often go see Relic. Relic, you know, we'll go and hang out with the Sports
Of
Interactive
course, all of the guys went over to Paris recently, didn't they?
Yeah,
to go and see them?
Amplitude.
Yeah,
Yeah, everyone goes over
Amplitude,
there.
yeah.
So there's a big sort of cultural knowledge sharing, and there's some stuff on the Sega side that ties it all
We've
together.
been to Atlas.
Yes, in the
We've
States.
been to Atlas. That was quite cool.
I bet
That
it
was
was.
pretty
Yeah, it
cool.
was.
They have a big
Yeah,
Catherine poster. It's great.
Nice.
It's enormous.
Check out Lauren's Instagram.
I'll find it. It's a good one.
Yeah. Oh, amazing. How important do you think it was for 2 Point to kind of have Sega behind them, you know, from the off, just in terms of maybe kind of just kind of spreading the fan base and using that, you know, kind of Sega's.
I think there's that aspect. I mean, I worked in the interim before coming to 2 Point, or to Sega, I should say. I worked at a really, really teeny startup. And the difference between what we were doing there, the resources we had, the knowledge that we had between us, and how, you know, we would kind of learn how to apply it compared to the support that Sega give to 2 Point. I think that's the big thing, really. They're not on their own. They're not trying to start something brand new because they've got a bit of kind of support, a bit of buffering.
Yeah, and I think from their standpoint, you know, if you're going to work with anyone to publish a PC game in the strategy space, then Sega are the company that you want to talk to. And I think they kind of went into it with the idea that they know what their strengths are, which is making games, and then we can help out with the other stuff, like all the marketing-y stuff, all the boring back-end stuff. We can help out with that. So it's been a really good partnership, and we've kind of fitted really nicely.
It's worked really well.
Yeah. Obviously, because you two are pretty much the public faces for 2 Point, really. So, like, how have you found the fan reaction? Because I mean, I've seen nothing but positive comments. I've literally not seen anything other than, "Oh my God, we'll be crying after this."
Dude, seriously, I have never in my 10-year career, and to be fair, only 4 or 5 years of that is community management. I've never worked on a game that people want this much. But it's insane. And you know, don't get me wrong, like Fable obviously has a huge fan base and people absolutely adore that game. But a lot of them didn't want Fable Legends. So it's literally night and day, the reaction that we're getting compared to what I've seen previously.
I don't think I've seen like a negative comment about the game.
No.
The only thing I've seen is people saying, "Why can't I have access to this
I want it now. I can't believe I bought this and I can't have it now."
About that. But that's the only thing that people have been getting angry about, which is great. Yeah,
it's been crazy. I mean, it's such a nice. I've heard tale of people working on games that people really want to play. It's such a nice place to be. It really is quite enjoyable because the internet's mean.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah.
So when you are in a space that people aren't all that interested in, it can get quite dirty.
Yeah. I mean, like, I've literally had death threats on YouTube.
Dude.
Yeah. Wait, yeah.
Tell me who they are.
See,
I will find
the thing
them.
Is, like, I kind of find it funny because you just know that it's just like a 12-year-old, you know, like, it's kind of like the same person who's on FIFA going like, "Oh, your mum," you know, like, it's like,
that's me.
We did, I mean, the one bit of negative, and it was Chill Naga, who's one of our community. The only person who's given real negative feedback was our first live stream, and he said, or she, actually, I'm not sure, that the stream was great, really enjoyed seeing the game, thought it was absolutely fantastic. Those presenters are unbearable though. And we just had a nice chat. They were like, "I didn't mean to offend anyone." I'm like, "No, I'm not offended at all. Like, there's no way I can please 100% of the people with my awful banter."
No.
So it's fine. But yeah, those presenters.
You know, if one of us are Marmite, then the two of us together are just.
Oh, imagine.
Like Marmite.
You know when you have too much Marmite and your mouth goes a bit small.
It's cloying, your Marmite's sticking your mouth together.
Us.
You're just like, why am I eating all this Marmite?
But if you love Marmite, it works out really well.
Exactly.
There you go. Absolutely. What's your favourite original game, Sickness, and then what's your favourite from 2 Point?
Do you want me to take this bad boy?
Do it.
Guess what it is?
Is it Bloaty Head?
Oh my God! How did you know that? Yeah, no, it's, I mean, and that's it. I know that a lot of people go for Bloaty Head, and it's the one that's referenced all of the time on the Twitter channels, etc., etc. But that skin sack just made me laugh so much.
Please never use the term skin sack again.
No! Head skin sack.
Never Google that.
No,
you're right, never.
Or if you do, just leave safe search on.
Yeah.
You'll be fine.
Make sure you're in full view of your office. Yeah.
No, the animation's great, and that was Gary Carr. Gary Carr.
Hi, Gary Carr.
Gary Carr, who did that. It's super cool. Yeah, really, really nice. And it sort of looks 3D even though it's 2D.
Yeah.
Something about the head deflating just makes it.
You see, like, I mean, I was always a big fan of Hairy Isis because, like, I just love Wookiees just like walking around.
Yeah, there's an outrun with that.
Yes.
You're right. Yeah. Good shout. Oh, I said Nouts because I'm with Northern people.
There you
Did
go.
you see that? Oh, it's infectious.
There you go.
We should put it as an illness in 2 Point.
That's it. But there's premature mummification.
Yeah, that's
a
a really good one from 2 Point. That's a great illness. It's good fun to watch. So, I mean, we haven't mentioned Mockstar. And actually, Mockstar, the way that they walk is fantastic. Like, it's just so good. But I'm also a really big fan of 8-Bitten. That's it's a really good one. And there's just so much, like, it's not just, the detail isn't just in the illnesses and what the cures are, but the names of the illnesses and how those cure machines, how those machines work. Yeah. I've got years of medical training. No, I haven't. And yeah, just the amount of information that you can gain from watching these little people just go about their daily business at the hospital is fantastic.
It's cool. And Mockstar as well. Like if you get a Mockstar patient and a Friday Night Fever patient like come up against each other, then if they're both sort of happy personalities, they can do little match dances together, which is really cool.
That's amazing.
There's loads of that kind of detail in there.
What did we end up calling it? What was the final name? Was it Emperor's Clothes? No.
Empress,
What did we call it?
Yes, I think
did we?
Empress.
Have you seen any of that one?
Yeah.
So they're completely naked, right? But pixelated, obviously.
Yeah.
But
they've got a little bow tie on
yes,
as well.
they do have little bow ties, and there's amazing moments where they will come into the hospital completely naked, go to the waiting rooms with everyone else, and occasionally they'll stand up and start stretching and they'll bend over. If anyone's standing behind them, they'll all start reacting to
Do
that.
lunges
and it's
as well.
so funny.
Nice lunges, bends.
Just loads of people going,
stretching. I
As you definitely
brilliant.
yeah, and Lauren did all the motion capture for it.
Oh, you got me.
Let me tell you, she's a proper method actor when it comes to this stuff. So. She went the whole hog.
Got a hell of a bow tie collection there.
Yeah, I do like the fact that obviously you guys did actually some of the sound effects as well. Like, yeah,
We
especially
did.
the,
You
Lauren
can hear me
did a lot
going
of
to the
pooing.
toilet.
yeah.
Lauren did
a lot
loads of pooing, and then she did some sound recording.
It's never ending. It is a laugh a minute round here, isn't it?
Like,
Gosh.
was there a moment halfway through recording that thinking, I'm getting paid for this?
It's
all right,
more
it's
like, yes, there's always, I think every day, especially at the moment, like we said, we're a little bit involved with just spending as much time in the game as we can as well, with Gamescom coming up and so close to launch, just to make sure that everything's as it should be. And now I've completely lost my train of thought.
Choo choo!
Pooing?
Pooing!
Yes, poo, getting paid to make
Anyway,
poo sounds.
Oh,
So-
that's a proper interview right there.
And there's those moments when you're playing the game and thinking, wow, I'm getting paid for this, that's crazy. But with making the poo noises, it was more, I can't believe I'm doing this in front of two beautiful young men and the entire office.
I wasn't there though, I don't know what you're talking
No,
about.
you weren't there. It was great. I don't mean it, I'm
Wow.
horrible. I'm horrible.
So, one of my favourite features of the original game was the receptionist. So, can you confirm, is it the same
Can we
voiceover
talk about
person?
this? We can, can't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're so
Yeah.
close to launch.
Yeah, should we reveal the identity?
Let's reveal the identity. It's
Ooh, exclusive.
Yes.
this is actually an exclusive.
Wow.
We haven't spoken about this because we wanted to do a little expo on it, and then
Right.
we were worried that people might not react to it particularly well.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, it's not the original.
She's done
We
well
couldn't
then.
find her. We
Right.
couldn't find her anywhere.
But guess who we did
But guess
find?
who we did find? Mark Webley's wife,
Jane Webley.
Jane Webley, who
Yeah.
is sister of Peter Molyneux.
Oh, wow.
So we're very much using Jane, and she has
She nailed it.
She has.
Like
So
it's
good.
so good.
I was
Some of the
convinced it was
things
the
she
same one.
says.
I was
Yeah.
really convinced.
We like to make the joke at Mark that Jane's constantly saying those things to him. Going to the
anyway.
toilet. in
Jane's
the
also,
hospital.
she's
It's
the office
brilliant.
manager as
It's
well.
brilliant.
at
She is
2
our
Point,
office
so
manager. She's a
yeah.
hero, absolute hero. But yeah, her voice acting skills are quite something because
Yeah.
they are wicked. They're so funny, some of the stuff
Yeah,
that she
it's
says
really,
as
really
well.
good. Yeah.
It's great.
Amazing. So for me, the original game, when I played it back in the day, so I did it on PC, but I mainly played it on PlayStation. So is there any chance in the future that if this was incredibly well, that it
We
could be back to
know
console?
how many people are asking for it to
Yeah.
come to console. And look, I'm one of you guys. If I could play this game on the Switch, I mean, I'd probably never
Yeah.
be seen outside again.
Yeah. Exactly.
And even though it's portable,
So-
I'd just never leave.
Never
we
say
know,
never.
Yeah, never say never. We know that lots of people are asking. We know that there's definitely a market for it. Let's get this PC version out and see how it goes and
Cool.
take it from there.
Yeah, it's a question of priorities really, I guess,
Yeah.
because it's a small development team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
PC's the focus. Getting a really strong, brilliant game out that everyone enjoys is obviously the focus, and then we'll take it from there. Yeah.
Because I thought that it was quite funny because on this stream, so like you picked up the controller and
Yeah.
everyone went, Xbox!
Yeah.
Never mind the fact that it was a 360 controller as well. People were
know.
still freaking out. It
Yeah.
was brilliant.
I upset so many
Brilliant.
people with that, and
Yeah.
but the reason I
Why
used
is
that,
he playing with that?
yeah, I had loads of questions on Twitter as well, but it's because it's just smoother to control the camera
Yeah,
on
of
the,
course.
on the,
It's
on the
easier,
map.
yeah.
Which is cool. I think YouTubers are going to find that really useful actually when it comes to doing camera pans and in the hospital just doing like nice sweeps. I use it for video capture as well when we do the videos and trailers. It's really, really cool. Hopefully that will still be in there on release. I think it is. I think it's still supported.
Cool.
But yeah, should be cool.
I know that this is, so 2 Point Studios, like I know that the idea was to kind of resurrect and kind of redo some of the old Bullfrog titles. So I mean, do you have any idea what might be next on the horizon?
No!
No?
Not a clue.
No.
We've not
No.
heard anything nor been privy
Don't know what
to
you're talking
Definitely
about.
not.
No.
Theme park,
anything
theme
at
park.
all.
Don't know what you're
Nothing.
talking about. Not seen it. Not seen anything.
No.
Yeah,
No.
I don't. I mean, they'll probably just retire.
probably just not.
Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah.
I mean,
Game
I
over,
I believe
literally.
after this. I
Yeah.
believe it, yeah. Just,
Yeah.
You know, like,
Done.
Just
yeah.
put it on a high.
We've peaked.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll make theme filthy development studio.
I'll play that.
That sounds awful.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you
I play
mean
that.
2
I play
Point
that.
Filthy Development Studio.
Yes, 2 Point Filthy Development Studio, yeah.
Brand manager.
Sorry, Gary.
We could just cut that last one. That'd be great.
So obviously, like, I mean, I think everyone agrees that this is a massively, like, from the community's side, massively positive all around. Was there ever any worry before the announcement that actually, like, people might be like this is maybe not what you were after? Because, like, I was crying out for this, but
I mean, there was a fear of oversaturation. There was a fear of, we've got hospital games, and if people don't know the stock that this game is being made by, they don't know the history and the kind of comedy element to it. That was always a bit of a fear for me. And we have had a few there, I mean, maybe not every day, but occasionally on social, someone will say, well, what's the difference between this and Project Hospital? Or people will send us screenshots of Project Hospital and say, what's wrong with your game?
Yeah.
Like, whoa!
but you know, it's PC gaming space is so big and there's such a big market that games can coexist alongside each other, even if they're similar in terms of genre. And they it's just different takes, isn't
Absolutely,
it?
it's a completely different take. I mean,
take.
the founders have spoken about this a lot, but they had no real desire to make a serious medical game, because that's a whole different realm of stuff you've got to deal with, and there's no, I don't feel that would have the same escape for me as a comedy take on it.
Yeah, I mean, Mark and Gary, when they were researching the original game, went to Surrey Hospital, and somehow they managed to blag their way into an operating theatre to watch an operation as research. And they found it so disgusting that they were almost sick out of their nose and decided to not touch serious medical games.
They had a meeting with the morgue booked for that afternoon that they just ran like, no, we're out. That's enough. No, let's make this something else.
Oh, do you know what, Mark? I don't think I can do it. So they went and did a funny game. Just took this kind of theme that people were familiar with and just twisted it and turned it up to 11.
And the thing that you know, and like you said, there's more than enough space in this market for all of us to exist and for people to pick and choose what they want. But the thing that 2 Point has is we're having parents, or children I should say, who are now, you know, our age, contact us saying, my dad showed me this game 20 years ago, or, you know, a version of this game 20 years ago. I want him to play too. Will he be able to play? Do I need to buy him a separate one? You know, blah, blah, blah. So that we're getting a kind of a real mix of generation coming in to play it, which is rad.
You did just sort of age us there. I'd like to kind of maintain my always 22 kind of persona. But
have you seen your face? This is what we get in trouble for. I get told off for being mean to him, but as soon as the camera's not rolling,
HR is just over there.
They can probably hear
Honestly,
me. They're there.
You're gone. You're gone, mate. That's it. After this, gone.
Yeah, I'm out. I'll be.
GG.
I'll come down. I'll help you guys out. Get the kit down. Yeah, no worries.
GG, WP, no re.
Gotcha.
You're out.
No re.
Well, I mean, that's pretty much it from my side. I mean, just say like, thank you massively for obviously, like, #1 letting us be here, and number 2 for bringing the game out, because, like, we've literally been asking for this forever. Damn you people that stopped it happening. Yeah, but obviously, like, genuinely thank you so much, guys, and obviously I'm gonna hopefully gonna kind of get a few more people to kind of know that the game's out there.
Absolutely, that's what it's all about. I think just getting the word out there will only bolster what we're doing here, because a lot of people still don't realise. Every day I'm hearing from people saying, finally! And it's like, yeah, we've been here for a while. Like, come join us, get in here. So that's what we need to do.
And thank you for the wicked chat. It's great to hang out with you and chat to you about the game.
Awesome. Well, obviously, thanks a lot, guys. Thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see you all soon. Cheers. Our Maz Gaming Game of the Year award does go to Sonic Mania. We're going to be getting this trophy out to someone, whether it's Christian Whitehead or SEGA, or we will figure out a way to send it to the right people. Hi guys, so some of you may remember last year we actually did the Maz Gaming Awards in December. So there was the Friend of the Channel Award, there was the Game of the Year Award, and finally there was the Small YouTuber of the Year Award. So the Game of the Year Award by a landslide was Sonic Mania. Now, I actually spoke to Christian Whitehead on Twitter, who asked me to bring it down to SEGA Europe, so randomly here I am. So I just wanted to kind of hand it over, just kind of hand the baton on behalf of Maz Gaming. Obviously to yourself.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Really nice. There you go.
So it's a shame that Sonic Team are actually in the building, so we did desperately try and find one of them to come and accept it, but I think they're all in meetings and busy, but they'll very much appreciate this. Thanks very much for voting, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks a lot. Cheers.